India has locked down 30 states and union territories are literally shut except for essential services, and in 3 states a few districts are under lockdown. As of now, nearly 500 positive cases have been confirmed. Remember, these 2 weeks are extremely crucial for India, and social distancing is our best bet to avoid getting into a situation like Italy. But if the cases spiral out of control now, India's healthcare system will be overwhelmed and we will not be able to win this battle. So India, stay home and stay safe. That's of utmost importance, and that should be our top priority at this point in time. Let's go across to our reporters. Paul is joining us from Hyderabad. Sham is joining us from outside Patna Airport. And Arunil also joins us now from the Maximum City from Mumbai. Let's begin with Arunil first. Arunil, Maharashtra seems to be the epicenter in India. 100 positive cases, over 100 positive cases.
Well, that is right, Swati. Maharashtra seems to be the epicenter of this coronavirus outbreak in India. At least since last 2 weeks, we have been seeing that Maharashtra's number have been really more than any other regions in India. Today also there were 4 confirmed cases that mainly came from 3 from Pune, 1 from Satara. Last night as well, there were 8 confirmed cases. So at present, the total Maharashtra count is 101. This is relatively high than any other regions across India. Entire curfew has been imposed in the state of Maharashtra. Only essential services have been allowed to function. However, despite that, people have been seen on the roads. The markets are still open. The police is basically ensuring that people don't roam on the road without any reason. And because of that, some stringent measures have been taken by them. Some punishment has been meted out to people who have been roaming on the road. We could see videos wherein police is making these people do sit-ups as well. Several other measures have been taken by the Maharashtra government to also ensure that there is no hoarding of essential food items by the people. There was one crackdown by the FDA as well, in which masks were recovered by the Mumbai police, masks worth rupees crore, and those masks were essential commodities in this time of an epidemic. So yes, severe crackdowns have been initiated. Markets have been shut down. All those places where people used to gather earlier have been completely shut down in the state of Maharashtra. The trains, buses, everything is locked down at present, but still the number keeps on increasing. Back to you.
Right. Arunil, stay on with us. We are also now joined by Mohit Sharma, Priyank and Prashant. We'll go across to them to discuss how the anti-CAA protest sites are being cleared by the Delhi police. But first up, let's take an update from Paul as well. Paul, what's the situation at this point in time in terms of, measures being taken both in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, given that new cases have been reported in the state of Telangana?
That's right, Swati. 33 in total as of now in the state of Telangana and 7 cases in Andhra Pradesh. Both the Telugu states have called for a complete lockdown. However, there are exemptions. IT has been exempted, interestingly, in Telangana, which only means that a lot of people, if their companies are not giving them the option of working from home, are actually heading to work. So it's surprising because Hyderabad is an IT hub. Despite that, they've actually allowed IT to be exempted, which means half of the traffic that you see on the road is actually IT professionals heading to work, because this particular road leads to the IT park. If you see on the other side of the road, very few people are actually there, Swati, on the roads compared to yesterday. Yesterday there was utter confusion about the people because they didn't know what the rules were like. Clearly now the government has stated that from 7 p.m. in the evening till 6 a.m. in the morning, we will be having a lockdown, a complete curfew wherein people are not allowed to step out. We saw the police using lathis yesterday because people were actually stepping out despite the fact that a complete lockdown was announced. Even this morning as I headed to work, I was stopped at 5 places, Swati. I was asked to show my ID card. So they are trying to execute it at the ground level. But yes, like I said, a lot of people are actually exempt and they are allowed because of the exemption to IT. Like I said, the traffic that you see here, half of them are IT professionals heading to work. So there is on the ground a lot of confusion still because some are not allowed. Yesterday we saw a lot of doctors and journalists actually returning after work around 10:30. They were stopped by the police. They were not allowed. Why? They are essential services. So at the ground level, there is confusion.
Yes.
The authorities at the higher level know about it, but the home guards and the lower officers are still confused about what is allowed. They are walking up to some of the essential shops and asking them to shut down, despite the fact that essentials like groceries bread, milk, etc. is allowed to be sold.
That's also because adding on to the chaos, because individuals not with the essential services who've been asked to stay home also are stepping out, also are going out on the streets, creating a problem for the authorities as well. That's why we are requesting continuously to all our viewers watching us, stay home, stay safe, and help everybody break that chain. Let's go across to Mohit Sharma now. Mohit, we are also awaiting an update from the ICMR, from the top medical body, to know the status of this coronavirus outbreak. Are we advancing towards stage 3? That's the fear.
Well, absolutely, Swati, that's exactly what the fear is. But just an update right now that the Chief Minister of Delhi himself took to Twitter to announce that there has been no fresh case in Delhi specifically in about 24 hours, in the last 24 hours or so. So that is some good news, of course. Whether we have essentially progressed towards stage 3 or not, that is something that the government is closely monitoring. Right now, we are standing right next to a couple of essential item shops, right? Really, this happens to be a milk dairy where you can see, there's no line as such. So people are, of course, ensuring that the section 144 which has been imposed is in fact abided by everyone. We've seen that there has not been a lot of queues. People are only stepping out if they need necessary items. To my right, there are there's a fruit seller as well out there. Of course, people are only stepping out if they need something to that tune or not. Now again, there is another vegetable shop here. You can see some people out there, but of course they are also coming in just to buy the essential items, just to purchase essential commodities and nothing more than that. So obviously, that is the situation here. People are not really stepping out. Only those who are in the emergency essential services, only they are really stepping out. And that is the bit of good news that we're getting to you. People are actually responding to the various awareness campaigns, to the various calls by the state governments and the centre, which essentially says that people need to stay put inside their houses to ensure that this pandemic, which the world is really facing, does not grow any further. And that is really the need of the hour. You've emphasized it enough as well, that people should stay inside.
Absolutely.
And
Mohit, that's the appeal. That's the appeal being made by the Prime Minister, by the state chief ministers, by all the authorities. Let's quickly go across to Sham, but looks like, those appeals are falling on deaf ears as far as Patna is concerned.
Well, yes, absolutely, Swati. Despite a complete lockdown in Bihar yesterday, we saw that how people were openly defying this lockdown protocol, and literally police had to use force to push people so that they could go to return back home. In Nalanda district, police had to resort to mild lathi charge to disperse the people there, because a large number of people had just come out on the streets to see as to how the city looks like when there is a complete shutdown here in the city. It was very surprising when we spoke to people. Some said that they have come out just to see how it looks like. Some had a medicine in the hand and said that they have come out to buy a medicine, but the entire family was there in the car. So certainly these are certain protocols which people need to follow. It is not, as far as the Janta curfew was concerned, each and every individual actively kept themselves at home, and at 5 o'clock we saw that how everyone came out and clapped their hands and banged thalis. That was a very good token of how we are fighting coronavirus. But yesterday certainly it was very surprising, and today in the morning we saw that how policemen have been frisking each and every car, asking for valid reasons. Only essential services are allowed. People working in banks, in hospitals, or the media persons, only they are allowed.
Of course, is important. Expressing gratitude towards those who are working to keep us safe is important, but while practicing social distancing, that's the key. Let's go across to Priyank as well. Priyank, as we were talking about the protest sites that are being cleared, we're also being told that what should have happened willingly was forced. Shine Bagh protesters were reluctant, although great restraint practiced by the forces there.
Yeah, certainly, Swati. And what we initially got to know that Delhi police was saying that there was no force which was used, but later to that, after assessing the situation on the ground and clearing all these anti-CA protest sites in the national capital, the official statement came out from Delhi police that they had to use force. And we also know that 9 protesters have been detained by the Delhi police, 6 are male, 3 are female. But eventually, if you look at the overall picture of all these anti-CA protest sites, which actually led to violence in the national capital, capital, where the 35 people lost their life in the anti and pro CA protest, which turned out to be a communal one. This particular clearance of the road was a very peaceful one, I would say, because 11 to 12 protest sites being totally cleared without any kind of casualty, which was expected and which was also assessed in several secret report which was prepared by the Delhi police official. I would say that this particular clearance of the road was a very peaceful one. There have been few detentions which happened because the protesters were reluctant to be detained by the police official. But what we know that very soon they can also be released by the Delhi police, since this total process has been a peaceful one.
Right, Priyank, thanking you and all our other reporters for not just joining us in the broadcast, but also getting us the latest. Our reporters are out there on the field, getting the latest updates for you. Stay home, stay updated, and see for yourself the difference that it will make. See for yourself how you will contribute in breaking the chain.